My next guest was just a baby when her father, Steve Guyland, opened his seafood retail marketplace on PGA Boulevard out near I-95 in 1984. Steve would commute from their home in Miami to Palm Beach Gardens every day until he moved his family north. And of course, his store thrived. Jessica Guyland Zabel grew up in the business, and in 2012, they moved their store on PGA over to US 1 in North Palm Beach, and they added a cafe to their seafood marketplace. It's been a huge success ever since. Jessica is now marketing and operations manager for her family's business, Cod and Capers Seafood Retail Marketplace and Cafe, and that is a mouthful. And you will get a mouthful when you go there of delicious fresh seafood. Jessica, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hi, Taylor. Thanks for having me.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you?
Good. I miss you.
I was thinking the other day, thank God for Facebook,
I know.
It's really helping us connect, not only our businesses, but as people. What did they do in 1918? What did they do?
I don't know.
This show, as you know, it's about turning lemons into lemonade. I got it right that time.
You did.
You guys at Cod and Capers, I'm going to go there in a second. Let me just back up. Sorry, discombobulated for a little bit. Tell me about the business. Your father started this when you were just 1 year old. How did he come into the seafood business? Is he a fisherman?
Yes, he was a commercial lobster diver, and my parents got married, and he was traveling for weeks at a time to dive for lobsters, and he, internationally, and they lived in Miami. And when my mom got pregnant with me, she kind of gave him the "you can't be gone for weeks at a time and leave me with a new baby" speech. So he kind of made a natural progression into, well, I know this, and let me, sell it to the public. And then slowly restaurants started coming and wanting to buy for, so then the wholesale department kind of blossomed, which today is 87% of our revenue. So the market, which is kind of what it started as, is now just a little bit of it, but is still so important to us. And it's really it's still our pride and joy,
And I know that Charlie Sue, I don't know if he's still a customer, but he was a customer for a very long time. That's 2 mentions for you, Charlie Sue, Tilay Thai. They buy, he makes the most unbelievable Chilean sea bass, Thai Chilean sea bass. Does he get that from you guys?
Yes, and the lobster pad Thai.
The lobster pad Thai.
Amazing. So good.
Wow. So your business has been majorly affected, not only in the retail marketplace and in the cafe, but the wholesale thing as well. But always giving back to the community and always thinking out of the box. You guys jumped into action and basically had to turn your entire business around to be able to, and it was more for keeping your employees with a paycheck than anything else when you turned Cod and Capers into basically a takeout operation.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. And we did it overnight, like literally
overnight.
Literally overnight. So the last day we had customers come into our store was March 19th. And that day we did 250 transactions just in the retail market, not including the restaurant. And no one ever comes in by themselves. It's like at the grocery store, you seldom see people by themselves. Mm-hmm. So we had probably at least 500 people in the store that day. And we had taken precautions back prior to that to keep ourselves distance from the guests. But the guests were not distancing from each other, and we had no control over that. And we kind of it was a Thursday, and we sort of just sat back and looked at each other and said, we are part of the problem right now, and we were not comfortable. We just weren't we didn't feel good about what we were doing. So
Wow. And you guys at Cod Capers, since day one, well, since I've known you guys, and I'm sure before that, such giving back to the community. I remember, I forget which hurricane it was, but when people didn't have power for weeks on end, you guys opened up and said, just come on in, use our power, use our internet. Here's some free coffee and muffins. And I used you guys as an office one
I remember
day.
that.
And when the whole thing happened in the Bahamas last fall, you guys were taking truckloads of water and supplies and tell me about that.
Well, first of all, my family has traveled and vacationed in the Bahamas for years, and it's like our home away from home, and not just a place that we love, but you can't spend that much time there and not fall in love with the people. They're just amazing, amazing people. And they don't have the same resources and infrastructure that we have here. And we kind of felt like that hurricane, it was Dorian, it was meant for us. I mean, for all intents and purposes, it was coming here. And I think they took a hit. The Bahamas, is off of our coast, and it's very unfortunate. So we had the ability to help. We had connections, boat captains and boats and fuel companies. We have trucks, we have pallets, we have a forklift, and a lot of connections. So, I mean, we first started off kind of going, ninja style in the dark of night, loading boats with generators and water and things that they absolutely needed for survival.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of rode it till the wheels fall off, and then we started packing pallets, and I think we sent over 20 pallets of supplies.
Was that with the Bahamas Paradise cruise lines?
No, actually there's a fast ferry that goes from Fort Lauderdale to Freeport, but you had to have someone had to be with it. That was kind of the catch. And there's a seafood company we work with over there, and his brother was going back and forth with the items to make sure that they really got to the people and didn't end up, in a warehouse somewhere or something like that. Amazing. So we, and that is, I mean, we can't even take really the credit for that. I mean, we helped get it there, but people were showing up at all hours with, here's a generator.
Wow.
You talk about moving you to tears. I mean, or people just coming in the store going, hey, I heard what you're doing. Here's $500. And
wow,
this community is incredible. And we're just humbled over and over again by the generosity of the people that are here in our neighborhood.
And see, you just said the thing, this community.
Yeah.
Local restaurants are part of the community.
Yes.
You live here. Your family lives here. Your hair looks awesome, by the way. It does. We had this whole hair discussion the other day
We did, yeah. It's amazing. Like, I just woke up one day and there was no more gray hair. I don't know.
But that's why it's so important to support local. I mean, I've been touting that for 18 years, and it seems like now more than ever before, people are starting to get it, supporting local. So local families like who own Cod Capers, that's who you want to support. The people who have given back when there are times of need. And so how do you give back? You go and you buy some food. I mean, they have the freshest fish ever. There is no fish shortage. Is that correct?
That is correct. And I'm so glad you asked, because that is a question that we have been getting. People will call and they say, well, what's fresh? And I'll say, well, there's like 25 different fish in the case. So can you kind of give me some direction? What are you looking for? There was a big article yesterday about supply chain issues in some of our processing plants. And I see how that could happen. Fishing kind of is a socially distanced activity. The guys, they go out on their boat, they work with a crew of 2 or 3 people. They're still going at it hard. And it's important to continue to support them because they're families too. I mean, and most of them are 2nd, 3rd, 4th generation fishermen. But there's no shortage. I mean, we have only been out of a couple of things, and it's because flights were a little bit strange, flights from up north. But the supply is really good and everything's still fresh, and we're busy. We're moving a tremendous amount of supply those people have been locked down for quite some time now and still need to eat. So we've been lucky there. We don't have any issues.
There's actually someone knocking at my door. I mean, I've been in lockdown for 39 days. I'm on the phone. I'm in the bathroom. Can you come back? Seriously, this is serious. There's someone knocking at my door.
And I'm over here just
Can
worried
you come
about
back later? Oh, please don't let them walk in because the place is a mess. Oh my God. Oh, sorry, lost my train of thought. Hey, it's live, folks. This is it. So anyway, I have a roll in because I want people to see the case. So right now, you don't let anybody in the shop,
right.
but you are doing takeout, and you are doing, people can have, their pieces of fish wrapped up, and you even have meals, prepaid meals to go, which speaks to my heart because I can't stand cooking. And now I have even more respect for chefs. Oh my God. How do they do this? How do they do this?
Every day.
Ruby's going to get together. Every day on Facebook, you guys are posting the case of all the fresh fish. I didn't get today's post, but I popped up yesterday's post, and maybe Ruby can pop that in. And our mic is going to mute, Jessica.
Okay.
But we can actually unmute our mic so you can actually tell the people, in case we can't read the little signs, what they're looking at, okay? So Ruby, if you wouldn't mind putting up the fish video. This is Cod Capers. What's in the fresh in the seafood retail marketplace right now, or yesterday? It was hard to hear you because there was music on that, but man, you've got a really amazing selection. And what are your hours, and how are you doing the socially distanced thing?
So our hours for the market are 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday. We're doing takeout in the cafe as well. That's 10 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 10 to 8 Monday and Tuesday it's 10 to 6.
Okay.
And Wednesday through Saturday it's 10 to 8. But the market's 10 to 6 every day. We had to shorten our hours a little bit, but basically the way that it works is you arrive in the parking lot. There's instructions all over the building, but you call us from the parking lot. We take your order, we take your payment information, your cell phone number. We shop, we bring it outside. We don't touch your car or hand you a bag. We are calling you saying, hey, we're about to put this. There's like a pickup area, designated pickup area. We put the bag on the table. We go back inside. You come get it off the table. So our kind of goal there was really just to keep the community safe from us and us from the community so that we can keep this going as long as possible.
Yeah. And people can find your menu at codandcapers.com, codandcapers.com. And I know that this is weird times, and some people were kind of being poopy.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
Tell me about poopy people.
So our first day doing this was Friday, March 20th. Second time in 13 years in this business that I cried as a result
Oh,
of an interaction with a customer. And it wasn't any one person. It was, I mean, imagine, 200 to 300 transactions a day, and they're all taking place over the phone. So that's a lot of people
wow.
to talk to in a day. And I'm admittedly a little bit introverted, and that's just a lot of talking. But we are, I think, and you and I kind of talked about this the other day, this has opened my eyes to the fact that our society with Amazon Prime and Instacart, we've become programmed to want everything now, the way we want it instantly. We don't want to wait. And it's a shame. I think really the biggest issues that we were having those first couple of days was, well, what do you mean I can't call it in ahead? I don't want to be there in the parking lot. I don't want to wait. And
Hello.
that's still, I mean, I'm still getting those phone calls even this morning. And it's kind of like there's a method to the madness. And one reason is because if we put it out there and you're not here yet, people are rifling through your stuff. They're touching it. They're walking off with your stuff that you already paid for. There's a reason. There's just a reason. It just works best for us. And
Right.
I think only business owners know what works best for them. So we definitely had some growing pains, and there's some people that I very sympathetic. This is very difficult for them to be able to order a piece of fish and get it without seeing it first is a really big,
I didn't
that's
think
a
of
hurdle
that.
for them. And there are people that are for real struggling with this. And there's been a couple of people where we said, I think maybe this doesn't work for you, and we'll see you after. That's a thing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a real thing that people are feeling, and we are very sympathetic to that. There's people say, well, I'm just supposed to trust you. And I said, well, yes, you are.
And in
You
the
are.
business for 36
And
years, hello.
yeah, and you should be trusting who you're getting your food from anyways. I mean, you should be. You should trust them. So
Yeah. But there's also on the other side, there's the nice people.
so many
And
nice people.
you have the cards.
I do. So we it's kind of funny, but we can, I guess, sometimes you can only take so much and you have to give it back a little bit, and we have a sign, and we put on there that, nice people will be served faster.
Yeah.
And
I think we have that. I think we have that somewhere. Nice
we
people will
did.
be served
There's
faster.
no shame. No shame. Yes, there you
There
go.
it is.
There it is. So there's no shame in that. That is the beauty of being a small business owner, is there's no corporate office to answer to. So we kind of put that out there, and some of our customers saw it and said, oh my gosh, are people not being nice to you? And we said, well, we've had some growing pains, but we're getting there. So within 24 hours, we had probably a half a dozen emails, but I also had all these really very sweet, I mean, we're talking handwritten postcard,
Wow.
a handwritten
Who
letter.
does that anymore?
I know. And 3 of them in the same day. Someone dropped off like a bunch of peeps for our employees at Easter, because we worked our butts off over Good Friday and the day before Easter. So there are just so many more good people in the world than there are grumpy ones. And
Yeah.
I think this proves it. And this is our why. And
Yeah.
it's funny, because after you asked me to have them handy, I was looking at one of them, and she's they're a good customer, and she put in here, stay at home weekend because you don't. And I know, but I mean, this is why we do it. It would be easier and less. It's very expensive to operate this way.
Yes, it is.
Safer, easier, cheaper to lock our doors for a month, but we're not going to do it.
That's not who you are. That's not who your father is. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not. You're right.
Because you are community. Excuse me, I'm still on. Somebody's knocking. I'm gonna have to go play something so I can go answer the door for. This is crazy. Nobody's come to my door in a month and a half, and there's someone knocking at my door. Unbelievable. Jessica, it's such a pleasure. I just want people to know to go find your menu at codandcapers.com. You change it up all the time, and the fish is, there's none better. There's none better.
Thank you. And I know I certainly can't speak for everyone, but I mean, my parents and my brother and I definitely thank you from the bottom of our hearts, not just for everything you've done for us, but for what you're doing for the people that we work with. I mean, people like Tally Ty. We love Charlie. We love his parents. Tim at Culinary. I mean, these people,
Yep.
they are these private, like hard blood, sweat, and tears people are like our family, and we want them to come through this. So we all appreciate everything that you are doing for the restaurant industry in our area, and you are very special to all of us.
Hug, socially
Hug.
distant hug.
We'll have a cocktail when this is all over.
Oh, yes, we
A
will.
very well-deserved cocktail.
Yes. And we're going to have a cocktail a little bit later during this. Don't go away because
I'll
Chelsea is going to make a socially distanced lockdown libation. Okay.
Awesome.
So she'll show you how to do the I forget what it's called at this point because I can't believe there's somebody knocking at my door. But Jessica Zabel from Cod Capers Seafood Retail Marketplace and Cafe at Crystal Cove Commons, formerly known as Crystal Tree Plaza in North Palm Beach. We love you, and people go support their restaurant and their seafood market. You'll find only the finest. Bye, sweetie.
Bye, Taylor. Thank you.